Dumelang ra amogela mo go Daily Thetha on SABC 1. Nakalibitso ke na Nicolette wa Mashile ngwana wa kwa Bushbuckridge Mapulaneng. In a country where basa ba go tlala are seen in a negative light, except obviously when you are an achiever either in the entertainment industry or you're doing some sort of sport, or those people that make it to these big lists for a Mail and Guardian top 200 or Forbes 30 under 30. We are today on Daily Thetha looking at those ordinary South Africans that are doing extraordinary things. So man, ba inventa man, kidi doctor man, kidi pamagadi masters. They're doing absolutely amazing stuff. But we don't speak about them, perhaps maybe because we're not putting them at the forefront in the media. If you want to join our conversation and you know somebody at home who is doing absolutely amazing work, please hit us up on any of our social media pages. Remember to use the hashtag DailyThetha or Rokana Warafonela 011-339-1315. In this light of celebrating Kini, I don't know, do you know somebody perhaps that we could be celebrating today?
I know a lot of people actually who are doing great things, and as well as we go to the youth month, yes. We're trying to celebrate labantu abasha abenza kahle because ziningi izinto ezingenzeki kahle la eNingizimu Afrika. One of them is that bafana yenzi kahle isizwe sethu kuthiwa sigxile kakhulu ophuzo nodaka, but today kunezinto ezinto ezobe si celebrate about youth yanamhlanje. Otherwise, welcome nonke kwi Daily Thetha. Welcome guys. And usiswethu la sonke kwi Daily Thetha kuyena otolika ngolimi lezandla usisifotshe ke wamadlala ukhona screen sakho uyambona njengamanje. Asiqale on my side, Homotso, let me find out from you. Do you think government is doing enough to make sure that you assist laba bantu abasha abaqhamuka nama ideas angasibeka kwibalazo kusasa?
I would say no, because from the rural areas, more especially, they struggles with facilities. Because it's one thing, like I'm first. We don't have facilities. The only thing that we have is library, and it's so difficult to get like finding or something else. So whenever you have to travel to come from the northwest to come to Joburg, and it's not easy. Like the parents, it's not easy to let the child go at the opportunities.
Yakhumbula ungitshela kahle ukuthi esikhathini esiningi you find ukuthi ugovernment ufuna ukuthatha khona lokho okuncane nithi niya introduce njengabantu abasha, but we'll be diving deep into that ngokuhamba kohlelo. Let's go to your side, Nicolette.
Yes, perhaps let's speak about this, achievement, success. Do you think for South Africa, perhaps maybe there's just not a good environment for achieve? Maybe there's not enough enablers structurally, finance-wise, support. So we end up, most of us, just being normal young people.
Good day, everybody. I go by the name Gibson. I'm from Davidson. Look, Nicolette, I just want to put it like this. It's just simple. We are less informed. We don't have information whatsoever. If there is information is only given out to the community by societies, group. Abantu bachelana izinto.
So bayakhetana.
Look, that's how it is, and I don't know how it comes to a point, Ugusi, we say the government is not doing anything, yet the government is doing everything. It's just the people who don't give out the information to people. They feel like
for our common dreams. Do you feel powerless?
I feel powerful. When it comes to my own dreams,
yes.
I feel powerful.
Yes,
nobody can stop me. Nobody can stop me when it comes to that. Never.
Yes.
That's nice. So like I believe not like I believe in South Africa, and I believe that South Africa has the potential and the chance. It's just that, guys, we just have to komanani, bambanani, spambani, just make sure that everybody is well informed. If you know of an audition somewhere, let me know. If you can't do it, let me do it. Somehow when we businessmen in Nanani, full business tuck shop, you'll run it, man.
You cooking.
Nice one, brother, man. But let me quickly come to my side as well, Ulandile. I want to find out from you, Uguti. Namanje, we find ourselves using izinto inventor dala, or maybe zituke there and there. Are we that lazy to create new things as a youth?
I think as the youth of South Africa in this generation, we are lazy to come up with ideas. We are stuck in culture. We are scared of coming out of the box. We do not want to step out of our comfort zone, but we actually have to realize that we have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Push yourself to the limit. The sky is your limit.
Amen. We have Milan.
In a sense, but
I think as South Africans, we are creative and we are very intelligent. We only have a problem with implementation of the ideas that we have. We struggle with ways of how to implement our dreams and the things that we envision. I think we should work more on the implementation. If you think or meditate on your dream, make sure that you make steps. You don't just dream, you work on it, you do something.
Zanot, a quick one before I go to Nicolette. Are you lazy?
I'm not lazy.
What's stopping you from coming up with new things?
No, nothing's stopping me.
Okay.
There's literally nothing stopping me. It's just enjoy the rest of South Africa. Otherwise, I'm an outlier. I stand out.
Let's get to your side, Nicolette.
Gibson, my brother said, there's lack of information. We are not informed. I know now you're an entrepreneur and you've had this absolutely amazing journey. Difficulties here and there. But do you think maybe, and just reference your entrepreneurial journey, do you think it's for the select few? Successful.
I really don't think so. I think all of us have the potential to actually go beyond. However, it's true. When you look at the time that we had apartheid and the time that we have now, it's about 20 years or so. So the shift moving from a mindset of a black person who was maybe confirmed, oppressed, and now to the freedom. That shift is all in the mind. The opportunities are there, and the government is making the opportunities available. Maybe the attaining of the opportunities is not so easy, because when you think of rural areas, like my sister said, there aren't necessary platforms like internet, easy accessible and stuff like that. However, the opportunities are there. It's just the mindset still needs to change. And the mistake that we do as black people, and this might sound a bit off, but it's true, is that sometimes we look for opportunities from other people, and the opportunities are within us. The solutions are within us. And when you go back to the trace and what our actually forefathers were fighting for the ability of us to actually think broader than what we're actually thinking. So yeah, I really don't think that we're limited. We are not lazy at all. The ideas are there. There's VUT Science Park Innovation Hub. There's great places that you can go out there and just, talk about your idea. Just before you go and talk about your idea, there's a simple thing that they have, copyright, that you can write your idea and put it on paper and sign it and have a date. That's copyright. And the mistake that we do is we go and say your idea, but you have not copyrighted it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go and now give it to someone else. There's other ways of doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kini, I don't know, perhaps maybe also there's an issue of sacrifice as well. So we don't want to make the sacrifices that are necessary to achieve our dreams.
I think we're going to talk more about that. But just a quick one, Tandy. Yini lenza ukuthi singaboni more young achievers and innovators as well njengamanje kwenzakala kanjani ma?
Well, I think it's because we have facilities in South Africa. Okay, I can't speak for people from rural areas because I didn't grow up there. Yeah. But I grew up in a township. I grew up in Gauteng. So we have facilities, but it's a matter of knowing how to use our facilities. Most of the time we have things, but we don't know how to use them. We don't have information on how to use them or how to access them.
I think what's going to be doing we're making sure that abazobe khona la ku panel sobe hleli nabo kusofa ibona uzobe ukuthi bona benza njani as well nanokuthi yini engakwenza ukuthi nawe ngelinye ilanga ugcine sewu young achiever athina ama steps akhona.
You know what excites me? It's the fact that these people that we've got today are doing amazing things to change people's lives. And I think that for me is really what makes them even more extraordinary. Do stay with us after the break. Welcome back to Daily Thetha. And young achievers by South Africa. Celebrate. You know what? Keep doing what you are doing. To have this conversation, we're joined by Dr. Thetha, who's an ophthalmologist. It's a big word, and she's going to explain to us exactly what it means. We also have Dr. Thetha, who is a nuclear physician at UP. Guys, this is absolutely amazing. I actually want to just ask you guys, how dare you? How dare you pick these kind of, careers to follow? But welcome to Daily Thetha.
Thank you for having us.
Dr. Bushumani, let's start with you. Maybe if you just give us a snippet nuclear physician every day.
Okay, so for those who are
interested in physics.
Yes.
When we used to learn about atoms and
yes.
the nucleus.
Yes.
So there's energy inside an atom. So my speciality, we take that energy inside and we harness it to diagnose and treat diseases.
I think we'll find less youth saying open up the industry because you need to study more to be on that. Let's come to you as well, Dr. Tebogo as well. Tini, ophthalmologist.
Ophthalmologist.
What is that?
So basically, I'm an eye surgeon. So you know when the grandmothers have cataracts, children who are squints, those are the people that I go in and I treat and I do surgery, eye surgery.
What if eyesight?
Yes.
You're playing God, basically.
Somewhat.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
But let's talk about what it takes because sometimes we look at the achiever and we think, that's easy.
Yeah.
Ufunda kuphela, But I'm assuming the books are probably just one of the tools that we talk on to be an achiever. Perhaps you guys can tell us a little bit of a story of how you became who you are.
Okay, so from my front, I went to school, my father and my mother doctors. So I'm very different from the majority of most people.
Yeah.
And so then I grew up with them being role models. And I saw them, having done medicine. My father would tell me his stories about the challenges he faced. And so then I went on to finish matric and I told myself I'm going to get distinctions.
Yes.
I am not going to pass anything less. Then I continued, went to UCT, did my undergrad and so forth. And then once I finished all of that, I told myself, actually, I want to do surgery. I want to become an ophthalmologist. But really, it is the perseverance and the tenacity to push through because sometimes you get discouraged.
Yeah.
The books are tiring. The time, this is 14 years of your life from start to finish. This is 14 years. So you really need to be focused and there is a cost. There is a price.
Dr. Siobi, we say these words all the time. You must be perseverant. You must have the tenacity. And they sound like PR words.
Yes.
Right? We want to understand how because as a child under 2 doctors, what are some of the struggles? Did you feel pressure to also become a doctor?
Not at all, actually. My mother wanted me to do accounting and I said to her, no, I love working with people. Yes, so that was the first thing. But also when you say the struggles, I think it's the thing where you actually put aside certain things, like as I said, so as I said that I wanted to get distinctions. I had to sacrifice the fun stuff, the party, all of that. You come home, you sit, you read, and you're focused. The boyfriends, I didn't have a boyfriend until I finished because I wanted to be focused. I wanted this thing so bad. And then when you go to varsity, again, the peer pressure, guys, let's do this, let's do that, let's have fun. And you're thinking, no, I need to sit back and study.
You mentioned something, Maukala, that your parents, Baba, are role models work and what you wanted to do. But then come to you, Tebatso, as well. I want to find out the role of Mzansi to shape ingane yakhe is ifike la okumele ifike khona. Ibaleka kangakanani le role from a parent's point of view?
Yeah, look, for me, my father, he did not receive formal education, but he used his intelligence to start businesses. And I think I must just go back and say that his background was very different from my mother. My mother is from, those old school families. Both parents are there. You go and you get formal education. From my father's side, there were people who had to go to exile. He had to start working at the age of 12. But these words consistently, I remember him telling me, he will come to my room every morning and he will say, what are you going to do today? What is your plan today? Now, you may call it some kind of brainwashing, but I think those type of words, they force you to also start thinking. I didn't start off wanting to be a medical doctor or somebody who does exceptional things. I used to play tennis. I wanted to become a professional tennis player. But I think at some point, you know, your parents actually, even your friends, they tell you that, you know what, your skill or your talent lies in this category. Work on it. It doesn't mean I had tons and tons of battles. I remember before going to university, my parents did not even know if they had the funds for the 6-year study.
Tennis being a very, sometimes, I mean, it's a very individualistic sport. What are some of the lessons now that ubereka le batho, you know, you're doing, and often you're probably in the lab trying to figure out, you know, what is the next thing that we can solve with nuclear. But being an individual sport, what did you learn? What are some of the lessons today from that sport?
I think with tennis, one of the things that you learn, you have to be fast. Now, to be fast, you have to stand on your toes, you know, and be able to move quickly.
Maneuver, light, yes.
Yeah. And sometimes the person on the other side serves the ball so fast that all you can do, it's just defend it, just return it.
Yes.
Just return it. You don't have to hit it harder.
Yeah.
So you use the energy. If the world throws a lot of bad things at you,
deflect.
All you have to do is just defend.
Oh, that's lovely.
Just defend.
Let's look at life now. Uguti injani, Doctor, since you said you sacrifice a lot to be where you are, there are people who maybe unenhlanhla or anything like that just happened to you. How do you then catch up with the life that you decided to put on hold for your career?
You know, I believe that there's stages in every life, you know. So I believe as a teenager, you are made to have those stages where you're actually preparing yourself for the future you want. It's like making a dress. You have a dress pattern, you have a dream. And that is where you're starting. But the thing is, I feel that even if I didn't do those things, that are partying and all of those things, I don't feel like I missed out. You know, there's some things in life that are there, but they're non-beneficial, you know, where you have to say to yourself that actually I don't need to eat the cake here, I need to eat my vegetables. I don't need to do, you get my analogy.
You're a different child, Wena.
Yes, but the thing is, I had to make those choices and live with the choices I have made, and the choices that I made have brought me to where I am, and now I'm reaping the fruits of what I made.
You know, what you're saying right now, always tell people there are certain things that you learn or and you do them, and you wish you can undo those things, and you feel like, I shouldn't have done this way. But let's find out on social media what's happening. Something incoming from Babalo, Mandla. In my childhood, I was diagnosed as a slow learner. However, later on, I graduated in tertiary, and currently I'm doing my master's, #Thetha. Let me come to you, Strato, on the side. Strato, what do you think of today's show? We're talking about Uguti Guze achieve emhlabeni. There are certain things that you need to say no to them. What's your comment?
Thank you for having me and greetings. Well, sacrifices I can relate because I just started college.
I see.
And for me, because I'm slow, I have to use night time as my working hours. Because during the day, it's so frustrating. As soon as I start typing, I feel like playing. So I decided 12 o'clock midnight, it's me and the laptop.
Sure.
Nice.
From 12 to 6 in the morning. For me, it wasn't even about sleeping. It was about working in my own pace.
I like that, because they end up trying to go to the pace, but you're saying you're doing things at your own pace. I think what's coming in with daily Thetha and
every single person, you need to discover your equation for success. There are moments when you are going to lose so many things in your life. You need to be devoted to what you want to achieve. My name is Nelu Khodisai. I'm the founder of iMedTech. iMedTech is a medtech company that does medical prosthetics and bioimplants to help in therapy and rehabilitation and enhancement of life, most especially to people who have lost precious body parts or have damaged precious body parts due to traumatic accidents and diseases, more especially non-communicable diseases such as cancer and diabetes. From a young age, I was always the one who was everything that is done at home, how then do you sell it and make money? So it grew over the years until I got to a point where I realized that I needed to start a business, not just start a business to create profit, but start a business to answer a lot of society's challenges using the solutions that I'm doing. I started the business from an aha moment back when I was still doing my research studies at varsity, because we were doing a whole lot of work in the applications of additive manufacturing within the medical sector in doing external facial prosthetics. But you know that moment when we were doing the project and I felt that, we are doing facial prosthetics, the ears, how can we do the breast? Because it was at a time when we are dealing with alarming rates of women affected by breast cancer and undergo mastectomy. And from that moment it became our first flagship product, and we have now moved into other products, and we're in the dental market and doing dental aligners and also dental cleaning models. The proudest moments so far has been doing a product that people have always valued, that changes their lives. There's nothing as incredible as giving someone your product, selling to them and knowing that it's changing their lives, and them coming back to you and saying that you have transformed my life using the product. And if there's one thing that I value the most was an achievement this year of being part of the Harambee Entrepreneurship Alliance. For you to get into entrepreneurship, the biggest thing you need to do is start. No matter how crazy your start is, no matter how awful it is, just start and always prepare yourself to learn as much as possible.
Welcome back to Daily Thetha. I'm just talking about young achievers esihleli nala on the couch bakhuluma imisebenzi eyahlukahlukene ezingayazi ukuthi yini lento abayenza. We do have Upalese Hoto next to me. Welcome to Daily Thetha, ma'am.
Thank you so
From
much.
Green Block, nenzani lapha?
Green Block is a company that manufactures bricks from recycled waste. Basically, the type of waste that we use to make these bricks is from coal burners. So Eskom would burn coal to manufacture electricity. So all that smoke that comes up is then trapped, so the smoke turns into a powder. Hence flying ash, the smoke that goes up when burning coal. So how the mines usually dispose of this, to put it in a lined dam. So it's a dam of water and there's a plastic line. Before I said damini, because that's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable way of disposing of this waste. We take leo fly ash, lentutulena, and we make bricks out of it.
All I'm sitting here thinking, how did you get to this information? To trap that smoke and be able to create a brick, but also brick it different para brick Nicolette.
So what happened is initially, so the company was founded 2015, so now it's third year. It did not happen overnight. The vision that I had for the company was that I wanted to manufacture bricks from recycled waste, but I had a different idea at that time. But as time went on, you do a lot of research, you get incubated, your mind starts to open. I attended green forums, when we wanted to discuss how to do away with waste. And somehow through those conversations and that engagement, you get inspired that, hey man, there's this waste thing that's called fly ash that nobody's doing anything with, And you find that in countries like India, China, these have not been made legislature. You have to build houses made of only those bricks because there's so much of that waste and people don't have jobs. So they made it a law that you only use these bricks to build this is what I brought in the context of South Africa, that we take that idea and we make it, you know, a reality, because it does quite match with our reality in South Africa.
I'll go back to when Dr. Tebogo. I want to find out what as a ophthalmologist mwekhathu qala ukuhlinzisa lo muntu kwakunjani, were you not scared or mhlawumbe wacabanga ukuthi otherwise nah, this can't be something engiyenza almost every day?
You know, the first time I saw someone doing it first, and it shocked me. I was like, this is interesting. You know? I was like,
wow. What a choice of words.
No, it was. And, you know, to just see the whole operation, but after the results, I mean, Okoko came in literally like this and not seeing it. Tomorrow, the next day she wakes up, like, you see, and it's like a celebration, you know? And I said to myself, this is what I want to do. I want to see people do, you know, come out with this response. And so the first time I sat in there, I was cutting and you're just, I guess, shaking because I operated the microscope. So I'm looking at the microscope, I'm doing that, and I'm operating like this, like a TV game. And you do that, and it was scary, and it was a very steep learning curve. I'm not gonna lie. It's not, you know, something you learn overnight. But once I got it, I mean, now I just do it like it's nothing. You know, I wake up, next.
Dr. Bushumani, you know, we don't find a lot of nuclear physicians in South Africa, but we've been talking South Africa, having a debate here, nuclear, moving towards nuclear and taking away the coal, you know, for energy purposes. How long does it take in Nicolette to understand that kind of conversation, be part of that conversation, Linda, as a nuclear physician?
Well, I think, look, for me, as a start, the nuclear things, the science competitions that you have, primary school and high school, I attended participated in a science competition, and I made an atom. There were professors there asking me. I was the atom never is a volcano. That's what I did. Yeah, I was probably maybe 12 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're making an atom.
And then I made an atom, and there were a bunch of professors that came asking me questions from the university. That sparked interest. You know, then varsity, when I went, then professors also called me and said, you understand physics, biology, and these things that have to do with life.
Do you watch Big Bang Theory?
No.
Do you watch Big Bang Theory?
Yes, I do.
You guys remind me of Sheldon.
Oh, no!
You're so smart.
Very.
You guys are smart people.
As long as his brains, not his personality.
Okay, we're having this conversation, but now you think there's something that you need to usfundisa, or you know someone, or yourself you want to talk about as that also give us a call. It's 011-339-1315. My brother on the side, you wanted to have a comment on the show, Namhlanje?
I actually had a question for most particularly the nuclear physicist and the eye surgeon. So essentially, I feel like at some stage everyone is an achiever. Everything took sacrifice. I mean, you sacrificed studying to build towards a lazier lifestyle. So you worked hard, and you deserve it to some extent because we worked for it. And I wanted to ask, between the bridge of, I wanted to ask with regards to what can you call advice or a bit of a step from you have absolutely no idea what to do to getting to nuclear physicist? Because I do understand what most self-help advice has always been, which is read a book. And to be very honest, that's extremely unpractical. Obviously read a book, but there has to be something that happened somewhere to incite the difference from reading a book to becoming a teacher, shout out to teachers, or reading a book to becoming nuclear physicist and eye surgeon.
Can I answer that? Yes. You know, the important thing, you must understand that the hard work does not stop.
Okay.
Once you started, you've started. You're just getting busier and busier. Now, how to get to that point where you know that this is what I'm supposed to do? You listen to your inner voice and also the passions. You know, as you're sitting there, every one of us, there's that one thing, that I'm supposed to do this. I wanted at some point to become a TV presenter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I could be a physician at some point.
But then at some point somebody also said to me that, look, your strong point is this. Take it, embrace it. It doesn't mean that life is going to be easy. It will actually become much more difficult. Life will throw things at you. But the first step, you embrace it. Then you will see miracles will happen.
Yo, hey, well, the way Obega corner, you sitting here, you talking, I'm thinking to myself, what is it that I wanted to do going so cool? I'm thinking maybe I can do it. No, and I understand, but I wanted to be a truck driver when I was growing up. Someone say can say we after this.
Welcome back to Daily Thetha and the young achievers of South Africa, and we're celebrating them. And I mean, we've had such an interesting start to the conversation because we've got physicians, we've got people by the ice, we've got bricks that can fly. Guys, it's been absolutely amazing. On the couch, we do have Thetha Molele, who is working. I mean, you guys are helping first and foremost. You are a pig farmer, but then you are helping, you know, this 30% pass mark, you are saying, we need to push it. We need to get it at a different level. Welcome to Daily Thetha.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Before we speak to you, but robotics. Hey, I mean, maybe for those who don't know, the robotics is
okay. Hi everyone, my name is Kini. What I do is in the company Miniature Solutions. We do mining automatives, right? So what we do is they have already machine that they have. We take them like taking a manual car, make it to be automated.
Okay.
We can control the remote or outside office, like say remote office.
Okay.
The robot is here or the machine is here, but you're sitting in a different office using a remote controlling that. So we have teamed up with great companies, then we made this journey to be possible.
Colin, how old are you?
30.
Only 30?
Yes.
And you're already automating Dilo?
No, the funny thing is, I didn't just get into this industry by mistake. It was I did IT at varsity, but I deviated from my skill as a person or my talent. I ended up opening another company called Thetha,
yes,
where we do windscreen fitments and property glass and chip repair. So as a person, don't listen to people telling you you need to do this, you need to do that. You cannot run 2 businesses or 3 businesses. It's entirely up to you, right? And we have the internal forces as a person, which is a desire, which is faith, self-belief, and self-talk. And that thing that keeps you awake all the time, do it. Don't wait for that moment to happen for you. Don't wait to meet Colin in the street. Don't wait for anyone. Do it with no resource. Actually, you have the resource. You have the brains. You have the phone. You can start there.
Colin, if uhleli emgwaqeni namachita or anywhere else talking about robotics, do people even understand what you're doing?
But
let's take it back to the couch. Tell us a little bit about pig farming. I mean, what's going on there? Why did you choose it? Why was this your mode of success?
I was a young born in a Kasi. Then in Seshego, in Limpopo. Then I was moved to a rural area, particularly because of the danger of Kasi by that time. So when I got there, I got interested in animals because in the villages, people have animals as some sort of pride or as some sort of status, not as a business. So from there, I realized and I saw there are people who are making a lot of money in it. Then my mind was just to change the community I'm in and for them to think positively onto these things is for me to go to that particular then I udula ko Defriede, which is a rural area, and I give it like one the homu and the pudi and all those things. This is it's like a status. So now my main ambition was that or change the environment and change the economical and social status of the place. Go into a cause that might come back and help the society I'm in, because that's where my passion is, assisting and going back and assisting the community where you're from.
Speaking about assisting the community as well, I hear good to Upinde, assist and mentor young people as well.
I always say that silence in the eyes of betrayal is betrayal as well. If you are silent when you see things are going wrong, that means you are a betrayer to young people and to the young generation as well. So it is our duty, to go back into the communities and to serve as some sort of motivation to the young people who are in our communities, and to encourage them that there are many things that you can do apart from being a Kazi, and when things they don't go well, you can't just sit in the corner then you are a drug addict and complain about government. What is it that you do? If all of us in this room, each and every one of us can do something back in their community, and our communities will be a better place.
Let me quickly come to Palisa as well, because Palisa, it's hard to be a young person in with business in South Africa. Abantu abaningi bakhala that government is not doing enough, or even the support is not as good as you expect it to be. And let alone ukuthi ube umuntu wesifazane as well. How do you maneuver and make sure that the company yakho yenza lezi imanga ezenzayo njengamanje?
So Thetha, Green Block, as I've mentioned, was founded in 2015.
Yes.
When I started that's 3 years ago, so I was 24 years. I had the same expectations as what you read and hear. Government will fund you, you're a woman, you're black, you're young. And here I went with the expectation that I'll go somewhere, pitch my idea, and somebody will give me money.
In reality,
in reality, man figured punched me on my right and my left, and I got there, not begale, and it said no, that's not entirely impossible. It's not possible. Nobody, no matter what your status is, and by status I mean you're a black young woman, will just give you money just because of those 3 things. You need to show that you can actually operate and run a business. And I had to start from somewhere. It didn't just, like I said, be overnight that I do these flyish bricks. Then I needed to operate the business, have some proof of income, some proof of managing operations, and I went to interior design by using recycled sugarcane. So I had to go into that.
I'm trying to understand that. Recycled sugarcane.
Sugarcane, put into a powder form, take it, you mix it with a few aggregates that they use in construction, with a cement or a little bit of fly ash, then they put it into a mold, and these are put up. You know how you see walls that have funny shapes and illusions? All those things are just blocks of recycled sugarcane. So it was simpler. The cost of doing that was much cheaper. The main thing for me was not, I need to be a millionaire by next year. Somebody told me, we're not going to give you money because you're black, you're a woman, and you're young. We're only going to give you funding if you show that you can operate a business. You understand what it means to run a business. And that's how I had to go into it. Until this day, no funding, bulk funding was handed to me to say, go because you're black.
How's the business though? How's it surviving?
I'm at my product development phase currently. The significance of my business to date, which are some of the things which keep me going, is that I'm the first company to initiate a standard for this type of brick in our country. Like I've said, it happens in China and in India, but in South Africa, there's no standard that exists for it. In other words, you already know that it's not being, manufactured.
Dr. Sion, we know sometimes I do it Dr. First of all, we think, and then also number 2, you are young. Because especially what you are in, it's an old person. What type of response do you get? Do people trust you?
Not off the bat, and it depends. I think majority of those who can't see me just trust me because they can't see me. They just they trust after.
On a choice.
Yes, but I have met with a lot of apprehension, and people go, so you're gonna do my up, and you have to learn to be strong. You grow a thick skin, and you're like, yes, I'm going to do operation, and even the way you dress, the way you present yourself, the way you speak, it is so important, And so I make a lot of effort in that, because once you look like you could do it, they somewhat believe you can. And also then what happens is, as they're sitting in the queue, they start talking to each other. Yeah, she's so good. Yeah, she's so good.
That's good.
And so you all of a sudden, you're growing in this. And also with your colleagues, mentoring and helping you. They also instill confidence in the patients to say, she's a senior doctor here, she's running 2 clinics here, and so forth and so forth. And they're like, oh, okay. So, it helps to have that support. But I must say in the beginning, it was quite daunting, because you're small, you're tiny, and everyone's like, but you have to have that, no, I'm not going to let other people's opinion of me, do that.
All right, we're going to go for a quick ad break. I think we're going to from the ad break. Since our level at the center of everything everything that you guys are doing is people development. You guys sound very passionate about people, but there are days when you feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. Perhaps let's speak about the challenges, because, you know, it's easy to talk about something just being, you know, I'm great, and then people are just like, no, you're not that great. But that's what we're going to be talking about right after the break.
Welcome back to Daily Thetha. Sakhuluma about young achievers namhlanje. Wanna find out ukuthi abantu bathini. So many things abazenzile emhlabeni, especially makuthi nawo nomntwana omncane ungomunye wabantu abasha ohlele ekhaya ukuthi I want to do this. I can do this as well. Nandi, you have a question or a comment to Palisa?
Okay, yeah. Firstly, I'd just like to say, you know, it's nice to see black people achieving great things, and you guys are truly an inspiration. So I just wanted to ask, as an aspiring entrepreneur, and I'm trying.
Wait. Go ahead.
And I'm an activist, and I'm also trying to get into politics.
Yeah.
As a young person, what I've realized is a lot of young people are into get-rich-quick schemes. In the day and age where Forex is, how can I put it? It's the way out, and nobody's really trying to start something.
Yeah.
How did you guys just wake up and say, you know, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to, you know, do something that's never been done. How do you get that mindset, and how do you go for it? Especially when maybe the odds are against you in terms of financing, or your parents are telling you, no, I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be this, a lawyer. You can't be that.
Let's give them a chance to go to reply. Palisa.
Thanks for that. For me, I would say I didn't just wake up and feel like, you know what, I want to make this thing happen. But it is the mere interest. You know how I said that when you're black and you're a woman and people will, you know, speak life into you and say, if you go for this thing, it will actually work out. Okay, I got there and I realized things were not didn't work as they thought themselves. But it's those minimal inspirations. You get information, don't sit on it. Act on it. If they tell you that you need to go to company X and that's where you're going to get somebody to assist, you need to take that information and act on it. You'll get there, you're not going to get that person. But somebody there, if you ask, they'll tell you this person is no longer here, the person in charge of it is so and so. And bit and bit, whatever, you take life as a Benton. What you receive, you need to act on. Get information, act on it. And slowly but surely, these doors keep unfolding.
Nice. A quick one before I come to you, Rob. Next to me, there's a comment coming in from Mkiza Kabazela, from a farm worker to a professional teacher. Big up to you, Mr. Kiza Kabazela. Rob, a quick one on the couch before Sibuela.
Yeah, it actually came from a bit of a point of curiosity, because everyone on the panel today seems to have something very odd that they do. In the sense that my actual curiosity was, which career day did you attend that decided that I'm going to take ash and make into bricks or recycled sugar cane? At what school did this happen?
Perhaps Colin can answer that.
To be honest, to be very, very honest with you, as a genuine, you meet people, right? You meet people, different experiences, right? Also, the type, don't just read a book. The types of book you wanna divert your career to, right? I read books like Think and Go Rich. I read books like Your New Digital Age. Those books talk about technology. So that in that space, somehow it do divert me where exactly I wanna go, where I want to go, right? So it's not about being in a varsity and meeting, or a professor will tell you about this, do this, it will be possible. Sometimes it's entirely up to you where you wanna direct your life to.
You know what I find interesting? Yes, you can comment on that.
I was just gonna say, as well, for me, so qualifications-wise, I've got a BCom honors level obtained from the University of Pretoria. For me, it had nothing to do with my educational background. I'm an entrepreneur. I saw a gap. Entrepreneurship, by definition, is where you see an opportunity to make money and as well to benefit the community that you're within. So for me, the inspiration was not because I went from tertiary and I was always interested in chemicals, and I did BCom in marketing management. Then I did my undergrad, then I did my postgrad. So the two, it's possible for them not to be related.
All right, you can just give the mic to
the doctor.
Dr. Bushaman.
I think I need to respond to the issue of this financial pressure that, tomorrow I have to wake up being extremely rich. money is important, however, you must also understand that do not be greedy. Approach things in a humble way. Yes, be eager. I was inspired by a person who did not have formal education.
Yeah.
But seeing...
That's your father, right?
That's my father.
Okay.
Seeing somebody going to work daily and opening a factory that dealt in cleaning chemicals and fragrances. Yeah. I think that planted a seed to say that, but I can also do something, and that's how I ended up being in nuclear medicine.
Right. Let me before I go to the Kajang Palisa, question for you.
Hi, my name is Palisa. I have a question for Dr. and Palisa at the same time. My question is, I'm this type of person, like there are many voices in me. Like you can be a journalist, at the same time you can be an entrepreneur, at the same time you can be a doctor. And I believe I can all do that. But I have a problem of starting. I don't know where to start. And I want to know what's your motivation of you getting to a point where you are right now. Maybe like what motivated you, like your great motivation to that.
Maybe doctor can answer that.
Well, I think the most important thing would be, number one, I also started like you. I wanted to be an air hostess, a dentist, and so forth. But as time went on, you sort of start realizing what your priorities in life are. When you start seeing that, okay, my priority in life is I love working with people. I love this, I love that. Dentistry doesn't work there. Air hostess doesn't work there because I also want to have a family. All of a sudden, you start honing in on that thing. And then how you start is that, number one, okay, how I started, number one, was that, as I said, I got mentors. I got mentors and I got to speak to people. Exactly, how did you do this? Then they tell me, my father told me, no, I had to do maths, science, biology. Okay, so that's a start. As much as it's a school subject, that's a start going to university. And then it went on with application and so forth and so forth. And also exposing yourself to the environment. If you want to be a doctor, go to a hospital. Look at what in the world are these people doing.
Speaking about going to the hospital, in the cases with your drive that you're doing?
Oh, okay. So the different drives that I started doing, it was mainly like, for instance, I go to church, so it was at churches and so forth. And I started, looking at people and checking their eyes and so forth. But also other things that in our department we do, we go out to the rural areas and we do cataract surgeries out there. Yeah, so those are the different things that we reach out to, and also other secondary hospitals.
All right, It's been quite an inspiring conversation that we've had on Daily Thetha. Daily Thetha, we bring you our people.
Dr. Tebogo Colin and nawe bonke abakhona ekhaya Palisa siyabonga kakhulu ukusivakashela isikhathi ke STT sesidliwe inja sesibuyele ekhaya siyabonga kakhulu.